In a quiet valley, nestled between olive trees and gentle hills, there was a small village called Elior. The people of Elior were known for their simple lives. They farmed the land, fished in the streams, and took care of one another. His presence was as calming as the morning mist, and his eyes held the kindness of the sun. Her eyes, though dimmed with age, sparkled with faith. As Jesus approached, she felt a strength surge within her. People sat around him, their hearts full of wonder, and their faces turned towards him, eager to hear his words. The next morning, the people awoke to a sky washed clean, a world renewed. The warmth of his presence lingered in their hearts, a constant reminder of the transformative power of faith and love. From that day forward, the people of Elior never forgot the day Jesus walked through their village, for they knew it was more than just a visit. It was a brush of the divine, a moment when heaven touched the earth and their lives were forever changed. Whenever the memory of that day faded, all they had to do was look to the fig tree under which Jesus had sat, to the old woman who walked with newfound strength, or to the boy who saw the light of day for the first time. These living miracles served as constant reminders of the day Jesus walked through their village and brought light into their lives. The air around Elior seemed lighter, as if carrying the fragrance of 1,000 blooming gardens. The crops that had seemed wilted the day before now stood tall and proud, heavy with the promise of a bountiful harvest. Illnesses that had clung to the villagers like stubborn weeds suddenly began to fade, leaving behind only memories of pain. And misunderstandings that had created rifts in families and friendships miraculously began to unravel, making way for forgiveness and reconciliation. In that moment, Jesus spoke, his voice echoing with the wisdom of ages. "Love one another," he said. "Forgive as your Father in heaven forgives. What you give in kindness will return in joy." His words were as soothing as the evening breeze, and as comforting as the first stars twinkling in the night sky. He stopped beside her, gently touched her hand, and said softly, "Your faith has healed you." Startled, yet overjoyed, she stood up and took her first steps in decades. The villagers gasped in amazement as the old woman, with newfound strength and a heart brimming with gratitude, walked towards Jesus. The villagers quickly gathered, their faces a mix of curiosity and awe. They knew who he was, or rather they felt who he was, for his presence radiated a warmth that touched their souls. "It's Jesus of Nazareth," someone whispered, and the words echoed in the gathering crowd. Their days were filled with the rhythm of nature, and their nights with stories around the fire. Life was peaceful in Elior. The people parted, revealing a small child who had never seen the light of day. Jesus knelt beside him, his touch gentle as the morning dew. Closing the boy's eyelids, he whispered a prayer. Then opening them, Jesus looked into the boy's eyes and said, "See the beauty of God's creation." The boy looked up and saw his mother's face for the first time. Tears of joy streamed down her face as she cradled her son, her heart overflowing with love and gratitude for this moment made possible by the miracle of faith. One morning, as the sun rose over the fields, painting the sky with hues of gold and pink, a gentle man in a plain robe walked into the village. An old woman who hadn't walked in years was carried out of her house by her neighbors. A young boy who had been blind since birth heard Jesus' voice and reached out towards it. As the sun began its journey towards the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple, Jesus sat beneath a fig tree at the edge of the village. Before leaving, Jesus blessed each person with a quiet prayer, a silent promise of hope and healing. As the days turned into weeks, the people of Elior realized that Jesus hadn't just walked through their village. He had touched their souls.